Oh my goodness. I'm in a bit of disbelief. It is a Monday evening and I'm sitting down to bid online. Well, it's not an auction, but it's essentially an auction using a platform called Market Buy. Emily and I are actually looking to buy another investment property. So what are we looking to buy? Why do we like this deal? And where do we see the value potential? Well, this property is located on the south side of Brisbane. It's on a block that's on over 1,000 square meters in an area we know very well. And it's also on the lower end of the median price point, even though it's on a larger block size, because the home is quite basic at this property. So if you stick around, I'll reveal to you the property's address and exactly what our plans are with this home. Now, Emily and I went and inspected this property just the other week, and this is only its first week being on the market. And currently there's about 10 or 11 registered bidders interested in the home. Now, as I mentioned, it's on that 1,000 square meter plus block. It's got drivable side access. It's got granny flat potential and maybe subdivision potential. We've looked at the sewerage, the water and the infrastructure, and there's no issues there in terms of the rear yard being used for that granny flat space. Now, the front home does need a little bit of work. The front property's in a bit of disrepair. The exterior needs some painting, the front patio needs some tidying up because they built it in. But the home itself is actually okay. It's got a newer kitchen, an investment grade kitchen. The bathroom's serviceable, the bedrooms are oversized. And the big thing here is you're buying the land value. So say you value the house at $150,000. If we're looking at $750 to $850K, take off $150,000 and you're looking at land value of around, say, $650,000, up to, say, $750,000 for the land, depending on how much you want to pay for the property. Now, what I'm going to walk you through tonight is all the offers that are on the table, and I'm going to walk you through how we go on this online bidding. There's only about 5 or 6 minutes left on the online bidding platform, and this doesn't mean that if you are the top price that they will take that offer, because it is just an online bidding platform that you've got to take into account building and pests, finance, settlement period, whether you're willing to waive cooling off. And the other thing you need to consider is how many people are bidding here, all at very similar prices. So there's currently about 5 bids within $500 of each other with about 5 minutes to go. Now, let me reveal the address to you. So this property is located at 28 Baramble Road in Shayla Park, which is on the south side of Brisbane in a local government area called Logan City Council. Now, Logan City has a bit of a stigma as an entire council, but Shayla Park is more of a middle class area located near the Hyperdome. Just a short drive in towards the city, about 35 minutes, and a short drive to the Gold Coast, about 35 minutes. So it's positioned in between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. It's also got the state parklands just north of this property. And as you can see, that area will never be built out with other properties because it is nature reserve. And so this property is really well located. As you can see, not too far from Brisbane City and also not too far from the Gold Coast, somewhere in the middle. So I am currently bidder number G, and there's currently 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Bidder C really wants this deal. You can see bidder C's been competing with me for a little while and they keep bidding against themselves here, putting in their best offer on the property. Now, I'm willing to go up to $850,000 on this home. So with 1 minute and 46 seconds left, I'm actually going to put in an offer at the minute at the $831,000 mark. The big thing with these platforms is you don't want to miss out. You only get one chance, and then I'm not making any mistakes here because this is do or die. So we're down to the last minute. I'm going to make sure I can get my bid in at $828,000, and we'll see how we go from here. So another bidder's put in $828,000. So it goes back to a 2-minute timer. So you've got 2 minutes to let those offers roll in. Now, what I'll do is I'll just sit on a higher and higher offer. I already think it's going to go to $831,000. So every time someone makes a new offer, the timer resets. So it goes back to another 2 minutes. Now, as you can see on screen here, my offer conditions are just a settlement period of 45 days. So I don't have a building a pest. I don't have a finance clause. I'm just looking at a settlement and I'm flexible to 30 or 45 days, but that's going to put me in a stronger position if I can get a similar price to some of these other bidders. There's currently 3 bidders really competing for the property. So we're up to $832,500 at the moment, and we've got heavy activity from bidders A, C, and I, all in the mix. We haven't seen F for a long while, so it looks like 3 other bidders at the moment going competitively around that $830,000 price point. So as you can see on screen here, we're up to $836,000. I'm just sitting back. I'm watching it roll, watching the numbers roll up between these other bidders, and slowly adjusting my price up, ready to bid if it does drop down to that 30-second mark. But we're creeping up in $1,000 or $500 increments here. It's not moving quickly. At least an auction in person, goes a bit faster. The auctioneer kind of controls the increments that you're bidding in. Whereas with these online platforms, they allow bids up to $500 at a minimum. Whereas in person, an auctioneer might say, oh, you're only allowed to bid $5,000 increments or $10,000 increments. So we just hit the $837,000 mark. Still plenty of time on the clock. Bidder C's been going at this property for a long time, but not really scaring anyone, I don't think. So we'll just wait and see what happens. I'll keep you up to date. I didn't end up needing to bid. We've got another bidder at $839,000. I still think we're going to hit the $850,000 mark. Just what happens after 850K, that'll be the interesting thing. Bidder I waited for the bid to get down to around 30 seconds, whereas bidder C returned straight away with a higher offer. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. All right, I've made a bid, $841,000. Ooh, my heart is pounding, and I do this for my day job. I guess because it's our own deal, I'm a little bit more excited about what happens here tonight. So we'll see. Bidder C's been highly aggressive. Yeah, and then we go outbid. Let's not mess around. Keep them coming. So now I'm just counterbidding quickly to get this show on the road, because otherwise we could be sitting here all night. Now I'm assuming he's going to bid $844,000, so I'm ready to counterbid at $845 straight away. It is a very competitive property market at the moment. Everyone's looking for a deal. So we're at $851,000. The other bidder tapped out around the $840,000 mark, so we're about 10K over bidders I and C, or 10 to 15K over 10 to 15Ks over bidder I, and then about 15Ks over bidder A. And it's just me and bidder C now. And me and bidder C were the ones actually going at it at the $800,000 mark. So we'll see what happens here. One of the good things about these platforms is you can see the level of buyer depth, how much interest there was at the 700s, how many bidders are in the 8s, where they're stopping in the 8s, and so on. So at the moment, we're at $855,000, which is getting up there for us. So we're probably going to tap out very, very shortly. We're sitting at $855,000. They put in a really aggressive bid at $860,000. And my limit was $856. That's the due diligence on the number we'd set for the property. So it doesn't mean that we haven't got a chance of buying it, because this other bidder could have a finance or a building and pest clause. And so at $855, we still may be able to get this property across the line with the agent, depending on if they like our terms better or not. But at $860K, there's still other deals out there. There'll be another property on this block size that we can try and nab with the drivable side access or corner blocks coming up. So at $860, it's really pushing it. I mean, we would have liked to pick it up around that $830. That would have been the nice price point, with the limit of that $855 and that value potential. So let's roll this time around for the last 26 seconds, see where this online auction closes, and see what happens from here, or chat to the agent tomorrow and keep you guys posted as to where this property lands. But we may be missing out on this one. Bidder C really wants it. So we'll let them have it for now at $860. I think, let them have that. I think it's a little bit over, but we'll see how we go. So that is it. It is paused. I will keep you guys posted. I'm going to have dinner. You can hear the babies in the background. I'm going to have dinner with the wife and kids. And yeah, I'll keep you posted on this property and where it eventually sells for, whether we end up buying it or somebody else. They obviously see a lot of value in it because Bidder C's been very, very aggressive in trying to bid out and win this property. Keep you guys posted. Oh my word. This is where property investing can be very exciting. Like, we just picked up the property for $855,000. I'm in a little bit of shock because we weren't the top offer. The top offer was $860,000. Took out the auction not being the highest price by about $5,000 because we had much sharper terms. So at the moment, I'm filling out all of our buyer details to buy this property, and I can't believe it. $855,000 was genuinely our limit that we'd agreed. prior to the online bidding. We kind of hoped we'd pick it up for around that $835,000 mark, and a lot of other people clearly had that price in mind as well. There was a number of other bidders at that $835, $840 mark. And then me and bidder C continued up to the $850, but our limit was generally $855. So I'm very excited that we were actually able to secure the property. Now I've got to get my broker to work. I've got to do some refinancing and get this property ready for settlement. But yeah, very excited. Let me show you on screen that list of all the bidding just so we can recap what happened. So on screen, you can see the offer history here. Let's start from when the bidding first opened online on this market buy platform. You can see it started in the high 700s. And these were initial offers thrown out on the online platform with people knowing that this was going to have a closure date of Monday at 6 p.m. Now you can see I put some bids in on Saturday just to get my ball rolling and get involved. I'm bid at number G here, and I bid around that 800 to 815K, knowing that we thought we would try and buy the property around that $830,000 mark. 835 would have been a sweet spot, and we were willing to push 20K more than that 835. We think 835 is fair value, and push 20K more because this property ticks so many boxes for us. It's got the 1,000 square meters, which is a unique thing here in Logan City Council, where you can build a bigger granny flat. It's got subdivision potential, drivable side access. The house is in reasonable condition. There's no utilities or infrastructure over the backyard. Maybe it's got subdivision potential, subject to council approval. So there's a lot going on there. But as we scroll up, you can see the bidding kicked off about 50 minutes ago, 818, 819, quickly up to $830,000. The activity was from buyer I, buyer A, and buyer C. And so those three were the main bidders up until that $840,000 price point. From $840 to the $860 mark, it was just me and one other bidder. So it shows you the buy depth was out around that $836,000 to $840,000 mark, which is exactly where we saw essentially the market value of the property. And we were willing to pay a bit over market value because this is the right deal for us. So let's say we're paying $15,000 over market value. You know, people are going to be going, Luke, aren't you a buyer's agent? Why would you be paying $15K over market value? Well, it's because it's the right deal for us. It's got the land size, it's got the long-term development potential, as well as cash flow potential. And the house is an easy buy and hold for the time being. It's currently vacant. We'll be able to get market rent for the property and move forward from there. So I'm really excited about how all of this played out. We've got 45 days until settlement. And so we'll see how things track from here. I'll keep you guys up to date. It's an exciting next step in our property portfolio. And I come back to every time about the purpose. Why are we paying 15 grand over? Why are we proactively looking for the right deals in terms of the land size, the value add potential, the long-term growth potential? It's about choices. It's not about a fancy car. It's not about a fancier house or extravagant holidays, or all those things can be good and fun and exciting. But for me, it comes back to that core value of choices. Buying these properties for a 10, 15, 20-year horizon, holding them in a portfolio gives us choices. So I need to go rescue my 2-year-old who's crying out for me, but I'll keep you guys up to date on how this progresses. And yeah, thanks for following along with this journey. I'm excited to be sharing it with you. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.